Hi guys. So last night I came out and quickly lifted the subframe on to the back here, and I've realised, yeah, I've made a mistake, which is somewhat annoying. But I've pretty much come to terms with the fact that I've messed up. I guess it happens to everyone along the way. So yeah, just a bit annoyed. Basically the problem is the distance between these holes and the heel board is now very slightly too short. This section of heel board has got the strengthening plate that goes on the inner sill, which is here. It's touching up alongside the inner sill, and I've spot welded it quite a lot of times actually, which is annoying, to the inner sill, so it can't move that way. And if we look at how this is fitted here, there is a slight gap which would probably give me what I need between the floor and the heel board. And right down in here I notched it. Right, I'm going to take it off now. You can see how far past that line that goes, which is where it needs to be, and then I'll have the room, then I'll have the space that I need if it's mounted there. I need to paint and clean up things. That's where we are. Oh well, I'll be able to just sort these out with a MIG, no problem. I purchased the slinger brackets in the end. Yes, they're not necessarily needed, but they might add some strength in here between the inner and the outer sills. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just putting in the 5/16 bolts through the holes. That's got them held in place, and then I can spot weld there. Another thing it's doing is also correcting the angle between the inner and the outer sill, because these are heritage, so that angle there should be right. Obviously there's a bit of flex in here, so I'll clamp that up there. And at this end, just one thing to note really, on these heel board attachments, the strengthening plate that mounts onto the inner sill here is actually slightly too long, so I had to well, this one was already fitted unfortunately, so I had to get in there with the grinder and grinding bit on the drill, that one, just to take off the end of that, so now this slinger bracket can fit alongside there. So here we go, spot welder on the slinger. Just so you can see, that's what those spot welds look like from the inside. Probably ran a little bit too long on those ones, but I was only getting 2 on that side instead of the 4, so I ran them a bit longer. That causes that marking in the metal there. Right, bit more, put a couple of little spot welds from this closing plate onto the flange of this heel board end. I've put one little spot weld in there, this companion bin close plate onto there, and one there, just to hold that in its position. And Don't know if you guys know, but this is wax oil. Okay, it's not Waxol, the leading brand. This stuff is slightly easier to put on. Actually, it's a bit thinner, a bit runnier than your main brand. Might be Hammerite these days, actually, who own it, but it didn't used to be. Yeah, so that's that. It's black stuff. I think you can get it in clear as well, but this is black. And I'll be able to paint it in with a paintbrush in here. Take a quick measurement from the centre, from the middle to the holes here. Wants to be, I think it's 1283 centre hole to centre hole across the car. So that makes middle of the car to centre hole here 641 and a half. If we pull this measurer, so that's at 641 and a half now. So we might be half a mil wide. Basically, it just needs to go in as tight as possible, and then I think we're there. Maybe in the next one we'll get to do some welding. Right, guys. Well, it's taken a long time, and I have to say, other people I've seen who have fitted floors or half floors and just got it in one video, now I realised how much work's gone into those, and yeah, much respect for those lads who've managed to do this in their garages and lean-tos and whatever, driveways, rolling the cars over on mattresses, not even having the jig like what I've got here. So yeah, just seeing quite how hard it is to fit these floor panels in. Not to put anyone off, it's not impossible, it's just on, off, measure, cut, fettling. Just lots of respect for all that, getting it done, really. Right, I'll see you in the next one.